So what is FUKTONIUM, this Blanch dude keeps talking about? What is FUKTONIUM? What is FUKTONIUM? So the meltdowns of Fukushima, Japan, which Kevin Blanch is the only one that calls it meltdowns. I remember Ernie Gunder's still in my sight for years. I finally had to block him, calling it a hydrogen blast. Helen Caldecott, don't say the F word at the New York Medical Academy when I'm sitting with Noam Chomsky. Chris Busby says it's the Pacific Ocean's a big place that'll dilute these false equivalency liars. The only person on Earth that was calling full-blown out meltdowns. Now stay with me, kiddies. Stay with me, kiddies. Were there full blown out nuclear core meltdown at Mayak? Nope. At Santa Susana? Nope. At Idaho National Lab when they're killing people off Chalk River? Nope. At Chernobyl? Chernobyl was a partial core that blew up. The 780,000 men Gorbachev entombed. So we've never had a full core meltdown. Albert Einstein. This genie ever gets out of the bottle, we ever have a full core meltdown, it's going to release energy. It's going to create a vapor, a gas that we're going to have no clue what it is because it's going to be new. Oh, it happened at Fukushima. Not one, not two, but three. Not to mention MOX fuel, spent fuel pools. The only person on Earth that reported it what it really was Kevin Blanch. So Kevin Blanch, his hypothesis in the early days was they're just going to dump water on it and push it into the Pacific Ocean. And if you don't believe me, you look it up. The course, TEPCO, which is really GE, the United States DOE, has pushed water on top of it for 4,200 some odd days. So that's been their answer. They've sent robot after robot after robot to try to get to these cores. Robots that handle 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit, 7,000, 15,000, 22,000, 30,000 degrees Fahrenheit. They just melt. They can't get near these cores, and they're going down deeper and deeper. Where are these cores? Go get a bone marrow biopsy. They're into the biosphere. They're in the Pacific Ocean. Wesley Stahl, a Lake Barrett, who I know personally, the propagandist cover-up kingpin, who's running the cleanup at Fukushima, which there is no cleanup. Well, where are these? See those holes right over there? The Pacific Ocean's right there. Well, this is like going to the moon. I remember being at that Leslie Hauss and Frank Lloyd Wright masterpiece the day they supposedly landed on the moon. Oh, they tore it down. Put that concrete cinder block piece of shit there, the old church I grew up at. Beautiful stained. Tore it down, the hand-carved wood. First they come to cry, oh, my beautiful green and white house. What did they do to it? This is like going to the moon. Like better, let's say, way better than that. This has never happened before. Thus, scientists are mystified, they're baffled, they're stumped, they're perplexed, they're bewildered. They're curious. By the way, I want any young person, any young student, anybody who ever uses those words in the scientific community, you know they're a fraud. Your antennas are up immediately. When you're a scientist, probably the greatest scientist, activist, PhD in human history, Kevin Blanch, you use the word unknown. Then you hypothesize. Kevin Blanch hypothesis. These are full-blown meltdowns. This is new. It's going to be an energy they push into the Pacific Ocean. This energy is going to get in the Pacific. It's going to cause a black plume. It's going to cause all the species to die, which thus the lower species will invade. What's the lower species? Black mold. It's the lowest form. The plume. It's going to push into the ocean. This jet stream moves left to right. Fish swim. The jet stream these storms will rise up over the Pacific Ocean and they will hammer the Western United States. It's going to cause a heat bubble over the Western United States. It's going to cause a freaking epic drought. Just the greatest drought in 1,200 years. This was all Kevin Blanch's hypothesis in March of 2011. It's going to give cancer epidemic. It's going to be an invisible vapor, and it's going to be a gas. And you're not going to know what the hell it is. It's going to come off these cores and off this spent fuel, and they're just going to push it into the Pacific Ocean. And the Pacific Ocean is going to boil. Hell of a way to boil a planet. That was my hypothesis. I got cancer in 2011. When I came out of the bone, I did the tide bore. You will take out the sponges first, the starfish. They will go first. Then the salmon will go. The Chinook will go, or the steelhead will go immediately. They go to sea to 1 2 years. The Chinook will not go till 2016. Record returns until, and boy, did I nail that. It'll get into the trees and the pines because they hold this freaking gas inside their needles, and they will burn. Well, I remember being in NoCal when everybody was saying these multiple fires over multiple hundreds of square miles started simultaneously, and they were thinking maybe it was a group of arsonists. And then they came out later and they're like, no, the atmosphere was so ripe and toxic in multiple different locations, it actually caught fire. Off an arc, off a power line, off anything. It's a gas, it's a vapor, it's new. Thus, scientists mystified by, don't ever use those words. You use unknown, then you get to work. I've proven it. I've proven it. You think 99.9, well, all these scientists, well starvation event. I mean, this acute radical catastrophe that's happened. I've proved it. It's not acute. We can run regressionary models. You can plug it in. It's unarguable now that there's a major outliner that happened in the Pacific Ocean in the western United States, and well, globally in 2011. It's unarguable. You can run regressionary models on the whales, on the salmon, on the starfish, on the trees, on the drought. It's unarguable. So we know something radically changed and happened in 2011 that is unquantifiable. FUKTONIUM. Kevin Blanch was right the whole time. All great knowledge will be persecuted, Kevin Blanch. Oh, nice. 15 of them. It's the ecology, stupid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Come to say hello. Headed south for the winter. Plutonium is very real. You can go in denial. Not me. That's what plutonium is. It's a vapor. It's a gas. As Einstein said, he hypothesized that it was a fabric. It was a grid. Then Mandelbrot came along. And Mandelbrot, basically just how your cell phones work, he basically took the rabbit ears and he just bent them. And he says, look at this. Whoa, that's how your cell phones work. It's not a grid. It's more of a fabric. Kevin Blanch, it's not a fabric. It's not a grid. It's a gas. It's a plasma post March 11, 2011. It's a gas. It's a plasma. You can't smell it. You can't taste it. You can't see it. And it took out all the plankton. You broke the chain. You promised you never break chain. Well, you break the chain, the lower species. I'm the first guy that reported the dead mirrors washing up dead starvation event. It's all starvation, like the woman told me. Hey, Kevin Blanch, when I wrote Fukushima, killed me on a dead 60,000 pound. I'm well. Radiation can't get. I never said it did. It killed this food. What did the 60,000 pound whale say to this California upper purple origin to the starfish? Fukushima killed my food. The whale replied, we too. I fight for her. How about the seals? How about the sea lions? All this great, unarguable, all hypothesized by Kevin Blanch, all come true. Just the greatest ecological collapse acutely in human history. And you're going to chalk it up to coincidence. No such thing in science. Kevin Blanch, the greatest freaking, probably PhD scientist, one of them, well, in modern history. Plutonium. 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 Stand